Previously on ETFW. On my last episode, I met up with a familiar face to the channel and set across Sydney Harbour to explore one of the most infamous convict sites in New South Wales. There, I filled you in on some of its rich history and also took you around some of the structures that are reminiscent of a bygone era. Should you wish to view this episode, there will be a card on the top of the screen which will take you to it. In this episode, I meet up with Suttpups and set out on a sunrise mission to explore and infiltrate one of the largest abandoned locations in New South Wales. This is ETFW. Follow us as we explore. What are you doing at 3 AM on a cold Sunday morning? Are you in bed, all cozy underneath your warm blankets, exploring the far reaches of your imagination? Or are you out there taking advantage of time? Time is my biggest fear. You can't outrun it. You can't hide from it. All you can do is embrace it. How we choose to spend our time is our own. But one thing I can say is spend it doing something you love. Because at the end of the day, we're all victims to time. For me, my recent Sunday was spent doing something a little bit different. For me, the sound of my dreaded alarm is something I cannot stand, but in this instance, it was welcomed. This morning I was heading out on a sunrise mission to one of the largest, most monolithic abandoned locations in New South Wales. But first, I was in need of some good company.
Let's go.
As we made our way to our much anticipated location, we began feeling anxious. There is always this distinct feeling you get when traveling to locations. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's joy, but for me it's always somewhere in the middle. The location we were heading to had been on my list of places to see for well over 1 year. I wanted it to be perfect, I wanted it to go smoothly, and most of all, I wanted to have a blast exploring it. Alrighty guys, so we just pulled up. We're not exactly to the location yet, but we're about to make our way over. I'm with Suttpups with Brennan. You guys probably didn't really see too much of him from the last clip, but we're going to make our way over to the power station now. We're going to get inside, get involved. Man, it's going to be sick. You guys are going to absolutely love it. Pick it back up with you guys in a bit. Walking to our location, the adrenaline was kicking in. As we made our way through the scrub, I could begin to see the large silos peeking out into the brisk morning sky. We'd made it. As we moved closer, the sheer scale of this structure towered over us, making it seem like nothing more than ants to a boot. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had spent over 1 year wanting to visit this location, and I was finally here. The only thing left to do now was enter and start exploring. Dude, holy sh**.
Got it?
Bangers, dude. Alrighty guys, so there's no surprise where we are today. We are at the Wangi Wangi power station. Oh man, when I said this place is going to be good, I actually freaking meant it. This place is incredible. Man, you guys have no idea how big this place is. Like, the scale of this place is incredible. The videos I'm already know now is not going to do it justice. The drone footage is not going to do it justice. The GoPro footage, everything, nothing is going to do this place justice unless you literally see this place with your own two eyes, because it is absolutely monolithic up here. We've been here for a couple of hours now. As you guys saw in the little intro, let off a cheeky little flare down the bottom. Did a little bit of drone photography when attempted to climb the big silo up there, but honestly guys, just being up here is incredible. You obviously need to be really careful where you step here. Woo! Man, that is sick. That is so good. What a way to spend a Sunday morning. What a way to spend the Sunday morning. And catching the sunrise on top of one of the biggest abandoned buildings in New South Wales. Far out, guys. I am here today with Suttpups, aka Brendan. He's just on top of that little roof over there, if you guys can see. If you guys want to check out his POV from today, the link's going to be in the description below. Be sure to go out, check it out, give him some love. Let him know Ep2 sent you. We're going to be doing a lot more kind of urbex and a lot more kind of videos in the near future. We've got some pretty awesome stuff lined up. We've got a little bit of nature. We've got a little bit of hidden gems. We've got some urbex, a little bit of paranormal. We've got a bit of everything. So again, be sure to go over, check his channel out, give it some love, let him know I sent you. But man, we're going to crack on with today. We're going to get a bunch of B-roll, a bunch of cinematics, explore this entire location, take you guys along for the ride. But man, this is already so good. Anyways guys, we'll keep it going and I'll catch you in a minute.
We are all victims to time. Everything on this planet, even the structures we build, such as this one. The Wangi Wangi power station is yet another victim on time's hit list. Today the concrete foundation crumbles, its walls are collapsed, the metal is slowly rusting through, and the paint is peeling away from the walls. Nature is slowly creeping back to reclaim what was once theirs, but it wasn't always like this. Allow me to spin the hands on the clock back to 1946. As New South Wales expanded through the mid-1900s and electrification taking place in Australia during the late 1800s, the need and use of electrical appliances was becoming more and more prevalent in the everyday household and for society's needs. The impact electricity had on the world is something that cannot be put into words, but with all this demand for electricity, we needed power stations to supply it. New South Wales was in desperate need for a larger, more advanced power station. Power shortages were a frequent occurrence, and households and towns were sometimes left without power for days at a time. The New South Wales government saw a need for such facility and agreed that one should be built. The location of this new power station was approved at Lake Macquarie at Wangi Wangi. It was chosen for its proximity to a large body of water and coalfields. The power station took 10 years to build, but on the 7th of November 1958, it officially opened. Over 1,000 men camped at Wangi Wangi and were responsible for its everyday operations. The power station was split into two areas, Station A and Station B. Station A consisted of 3 Parson turbo alternators. Steam was supplied at 650 psi and brought up to 840 degrees Fahrenheit from a 6-spreader Stoker coal-fired Babcock and Wilcox cross-drum boilers. The later B station, a modified product of the Electricity Commission of New South Wales, had 3 Parson units. Steam was supplied by 3 Babcock and Wilcox boilers that burnt pulverized coal. Steam pressure was 950 psi and steam temperature was 950 degrees Fahrenheit. But today, none of the above remains. Over the years since its closure, vandals have taken to the power station, tagging up its walls and smashing in its windows. Anything of value was removed before it was left abandoned. However, this didn't stop those from ripping apart the walls for anything they can get their hands on. Now all that is left is a shell, reminiscent of a time where its vast open rooms were filled with men working away and machines whistling through the night. Our goal this morning was simple: explore the desolate remains of this once monolithic power plant, watch the sunrise from the roof, and preserve this location's history in the photos and videos that we make. Because as I said earlier, we are all victims to time. And one day, this location may be gone.
Alrighty guys, we're going to kind of wrap things up. Just smashed out the silo climb. Again, you guys are going to see the POV in his video. But right now what we're going to do is pretty much make our way back down to the bottom floor now. There's a last little spot we want to go get some photos. Throw up the drone one last time, get a bunch more drone footage and call it a day. But seriously, this, I know I say it a lot of places we go that we go do urbex in, but this has topped out of everything I've done. Like by far this is the coolest place, the biggest place. You just look at everything here, like everything just looks fucking incredible. There's that like real decayed feeling here, you know, where everything's kind of, all the paint stripping, all the, you know, all the metal's rusting. It's like, I don't know, it's just that awesome feeling. Anyways guys, let's go do this last bunch of clips. Let's get this last bunch of footage done. Let's call it a day. I'm so pumped we did this today. I'm so G'd we came here, man.
Oh dude, this is one of the best spots. I knew it was going to be sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll pick it back up in a moment.
As our adventure comes to an end, I couldn't have been more happy with how the day went. I was joined by great company, and I was able to explore a location that was on my list for so long. But our adventure isn't over yet. Over the next 10 weeks or so, Suttpups and I will be setting out on a journey to explore some of the most amazing locations in New South Wales. This doesn't just include abandoned, but nature, hidden gems, paranormal, and so much more. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave it a like. Comment your thoughts down below, or let us know what you'd like to see us explore next. And if you're new here, feel free to drop a sub to the channel. And remember, time is limited, so go out there and take advantage of it while you still have some left. Peace.